welcome Per Gessle from Roxette to our Good Karma radio interview. Hi Per.
Hello, thank you very much. Thanks for having
You
me.
look like you look fantastic. We have a lot of to talk. The upcoming Roxette tour in 2025. We are totally happy about it. You are going to release a brand new album in the fall. Fashion Band 30th anniversary, the Roxette musical, and the Gyllene Tider movie. A lot of and short time. So Briggs is going to ask you the first question.
Hi, Per. I'm
Uh,
Briggs. Per, why was the decision to choose Lena Philipson to go on international tour? Why now and not before?
uh, because I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do. You know, it it was very really, as you know, for everyone, it was really hard when Marie left us. Uh, so I guess I just needed a lot of time. I needed time to think, and also I needed to find an angle to how to think about all this, you know, and eventually I just found that the reason for doing this is not to start a new Roxette. I'm not starting a new band or a new duo. I'm doing this because I want to play the songs I wrote for Roxette from a songwriter's point of view. And how should I do that in the best possible way? Well, first of all, I would love to work with the classic Roxette band, you know, Jonas Isaksson, Clarence Overman, Christopher Lundqvist, all those people. Unfortunately, Pelle Alsing isn't with us anymore. But also, I need a person who can sing on a world-class level, who's a experienced performer, who's used to taking care of 10,000 people in the crowds. And those people aren't really that easy to find. So I started thinking about Lena Philipson in the afternoon when we were recording Sällskapskrök, that song in the studio. That's about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. So in the studio, this idea, when I heard her sing and how professional she was in the studio and the things that she did with her voice, and knowing her, you know, seeing her on stage, she ticked all the boxes. So I just I thought about it for a couple of days without telling her, and then I called her up and said, can we have a meeting in Stockholm? And I told her what my thought about it, my thoughts about the collaboration, and she freaked out, of course, and she needed time to think. But she came back to me and said, yeah, let's talk about it. This is interesting. And looking back now, like a year later, I think this is a very exciting project for me and for her and for everyone who loves Roxette and the Roxette songs. You will never, neither the Roxette fans nor me will ever get Marie back, and we have to live with that. And it's unfortunate, but this is the best thing we can do. The other option was not to do anything. Long answer, I'm sorry.
No, I think
It's a different.
it's fantastic. But you try in the past with different names. I remember Per Gessle's Roxette in 2018. Then you try with Fisher Roxette, and now you are going on tour with the name Roxette. Did you talk about this idea when Bolius Fredriksson family, or did you ever discuss with Marie about for the future of Roxette without her?
No, we never really talked about that with Marie. I talked to, of course, to Marie's family, and they're fine with everything. In the past, you know, when I did the Per Gessle's Roxette thing, it was a different thing because that was like then Helena was singing with me, and Malin May was also there singing. But that was like a different thing because we every time we made like Fading Like a Flower or Spending My Time, we did new arrangements and, you know, other versions of the songs. What I'm trying to do now is stay true to the classic Roxette sound. That's why I want to use classic Roxette band. So it's a different angle. I'm talking about angles all the time, but for me it's a big difference. You know, it's the same when I'm every time I do a live show, you know, at a wedding or something, someone is hiring me, they want me to play Roxette songs. Then I say, I can do that. I can do Dress for Success, like I did on TV the other night. I did Dress for Success. I don't know if you saw that with Niklas Strömstedt. But that becomes a different thing because it's not Dress for Success is not about me. It was written for Marie. So, you know, so it's for me it's very different on you know how you sort of go into a certain project, you know, and I've never done anything like this before. This is the first time I'm doing a proper Roxette show.
Exactly.
And it's not about making new music or recording new music. It's about playing the classic Roxette songs that I know that lots of people love very much, like including me.
Yeah, we are, you know, we are hardcore fans, and we are totally excited about this video. We think it's brilliant because Lena Philipson is a great singer and showwoman.
Per, Lena is a true showwoman on stage. Is there a possibility of recording something together in English?
No, not at the moment. We have, like I said, this is about the Roxette catalog of songs, the old catalog of songs. So there might be I don't know. We haven't decided. We you know, this is like next year, so we won't start rehearsing until January. But I sort of make like a set list for what people are gonna which songs they're gonna learn. But you know, I don't know. Maybe we could find some Roxette songs from the past that the original Roxette never played live. June Afternoon, for instance, we never played that live. There might be other songs. You know, there are lots of songs that we didn't play live. So I mean, it could be fun.
Okay, fantastic.
What's You Like is one of my favorite Roxette songs. We never played that live.
Oh,
What's it like? I
Please.
remember when you played here in Buenos Aires in 1995. I had a girl behind me screaming all the time, "Sings What You Like."
That's funny.
Sir, the $1 million question: when are you coming to Argentina? Because you need to bring Roxette in concert to our country.
Oh, I can't answer that. I'm sorry. You know, what we're doing now is we're doing South Africa and Australia as that's, for me, it's like a pilot. You know, we're going to see how it feels, how it feels on stage. If we're having a good time, you know, and I think we will. I think it's going to be magic, actually. But you never know. And before I sign a lot of deals, you know, to go to South America or go to North America or go to Europe, whatever, I just want to feel in my heart and in my system that it's the right thing to do. So, but you know me, I'd love to go to South America and perform it. As soon as possible, if you ask me. But you know, I can't give you any answer until next spring.
Ah, well, we wait for the springtime.
Per, what do you think about IA? Would you make a new song with your voice and Marie's voice using this technology?
Well, you know, we used AI for the videos.
I'm spending my time live in South Africa.
Spending my time, yeah. We're gonna do the same thing with the whole South African concert from 1995, and also we have lots of footage from the Joyride tour in Australia. So we're gonna use AI to make crisp and, you know, top HD quality, basically. But you know, that's I think that's a good thing to use that technology. But when it comes to you know, I've heard so many silly songs
Yeah.
with my voice, this and that. It's just crap for me. And I don't know. And at the end of the day, it's, you know, the creative process of writing and singing and playing, and that's what it's all about. I don't want. I want as less computers as possible. But you know, sometimes you know you need computers, you need the technology to create certain sounds that you like. You know, the whole monomine thing couldn't be done without computers, or even the PG Roxette album, Pop Up Dynamo. It's to create that 80s sort of synthesizers and arpeggios and sequences. You need technology, but you know, for me it's I can't really, you know. I'm not the target group for that.
Freshman Band has turned 30th anniversary, and well, you are celebrating with the re-release of Spend My Time. But we know that free LP box is planned. When it's going to be released, or can you tell us something about it?
When the musical opens up in September, there will be a little surprise for the Roxette fans. But it's not that one, it's something else. But the live thing, the triple album will be, I think it will be released early next year. Because there's so many things happening this year, so we can, you know, we competing with ourselves all the time, which is bad. But that album is already done. It's already mixed, and I have it in my computer. It's amazing because it's like, you know, that was the peak of the band. You know, it's recorded over 3 days in Sydney, and it just sounds so cool. And it's mixed by MP from Gyllene Tider has mixed it, and he's done an amazing job. He has gated all the microphones on stage that aren't in use. He has gated them, so you don't have any leakage from you know, from drums getting into all these microphones on stage. So he spent, I think he spent like 3 months mixing it. So it sounds amazing, really does.
The premiere of musical of Roxette will happen in September the 6th. It is evening ready. Can we expect to see the musical in other countries?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think they're doing 99 shows or something, 97 maybe, in Malmo. So it will go on in Malmo until April next year. And then most likely it will start in Stockholm in the autumn of 25. But I'm sure there's lots of interest all over the world, basically. So I'm sure it will continue. I think it will go international also in the autumn of 2025. So Clarence and Christopher are arranging the songs together with a guy called Joachim Hallin, who's the director of the orchestra. And yesterday I just heard 2 songs which they're working on, and it sounds also amazing. So I'm really excited about this. This is so different from everything else we've done. The closest thing we've done musically is when we did Night of the Proms, you know, with a big orchestra. So that sort of vibe you can hear, especially in the ballads. But it's really wonderful to doing this because it's so different.
Fantastic. Yeah, you know, Mamma Mia from ABBA is always a big success. Mamma Mia was a premiere 3 weeks ago here in Buenos Aires, and it's fantastic with local actors. And yes, it will be fantastic. We can get the music all over the world.
I'm sure it will travel international if it will be a success here. You know, it's the same thing as with everything. You never know. You know, the plot has to work. The whole, you know, how it looks has to work. You know, everything, the actors. You know, it's such a big. I mean, they're doing 370 original costumes for the musical in Malmo. 370. And everything is it's based in the early 90s, so it got this late 80s, early 90s look on all of them, and it's like a factory of all these people sitting there creating clothes. It's just amazing to watch, and everything. There's one guy who's designed all these amazing wardrobe, and it's just I've never seen anything like it. It's just really nice to be part of. And I think the reason why we picked Malmo is that it's the biggest stage and the biggest opera house in Northern Europe. So it holds a lot of people, and also the orchestra is really big. You know, nowadays, if you go to the West End and you watch Mamma Mia, it's basically 4 computers doing all the music. But we have a full-blown orchestra in Malmo. So that is something that is I'm sure not going to happen anywhere else, because this is one of the only opera houses that have that big orchestra available.
Talking about releases, the Gyllene Tider film will come this summer. Is any plan to get a movie on streaming platforms later? Because you know, Gyllene Tider is a Swedish band, but the lead singer is a pop star, is a worldwide pop star. So we want to see the movie.
I know. You know, I know that they're gonna do. They already talked about that. They're doing a version with English subtitles at least. So it will be. I'm sure it will be available in the, I don't know when, but later this year probably. It depends on how, if it's a success. If it's a success, it's going to continue on in the movies. If it's a flop, it's going to go to the streaming.
But it will be a success.
So we'll see what happens. But it's a fun movie. I've seen it 4 times now in 4 different versions, and it's really nice. I like the idea of presenting the story, how we met, how the band. It's very much about me growing up, and you know how I met Mats and how we started the band, and the whole movie ends in 1982 when Sommartid is released. So it's not about the ongoing success of the big career of Gyllene Tider. It's about our you know five stupid young teenagers getting together to form a band, trying to sneak in the nightclubs in Stockholm. In our clothes. It's fun. It's very warm, and it looks really cool because they created the late 70s, early 80s look on cars and telephone booths and clothes and everything. It sounds really authentic. So I'm sure you're gonna like it. I like it a lot. Every version I've seen is better and better. So it's great actors and. You know, then just you love them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, sorry. We have a main newspaper here. It's called La Nación, and they are releasing a vinyl collection, and they have released Look Sharp and Joyride, and they promise they are going to release an LP too, and. We know that you've been collecting Roxette stuff in the past. Do you still collect stuff? Are you interested in these? I think they are brilliant LPs to get it everywhere in the kiosks.
Yeah, well, you know, I try to keep, if I find something, you know, and if something is released, I try to keep 1 copy in my archive, in my files, the basement. Just because it's been a long career, you know, and there's so many records, and I forget about, you know, what's on the B side and all the singles, you know, whatever. But it's nice to you know to have. So I think it's cool. And you know, I think I really like that the LP is coming back slowly, but you know, it's a lot of people, young people, who are sort of appreciating the idea of having something to hold and to read and to, you know, to smell. It's just good instead of the streaming thing. But I like the streaming thing as well, because, you know, it's in the old days, any artist relied on that your albums were in stock at the store, right? If you wanted to go and buy a Roxette album and you couldn't find it because it's not in store, you buy something else, right? But nowadays go into Spotify or Apple or Deezer or whatever, and if you want to listen to Roxette, you listen to Roxette. So I mean, that's the good thing. But the romantic side of, you know, going to the store, buying a vinyl album, you know, look at it and read the lyrics or whatever you want to do. That whole mystery about the album has disappeared a bit with the streaming thing. It's more of a consumer thing.
I'm a vinyl lover.
Me too.
Sabri and Roxana is going to make you a question.
Okay, you are coming back with all Roxette band for the tour. Why didn't Anders return to Roxette? And what happened with Helena Josefsson?
Well, Anders, he's doing so many other things. He's doing soundtracks for TV series, and as soon as you want him to do something, he says no, because as soon as he says no to a TV thing, they take someone else. You know, he doesn't want to lose his flow of work. So he's been doing that for so many years now. So he's not interested in going on tour with Roxette. Helena just told me like half a year ago that she wasn't really into singing on other people's records anymore. She wanted to concentrate on her own stuff, go her own way, and she's very much part of my new Swedish album that's going to come out in the autumn. I think there's 3 duets with her on that album, and also she's singing lots of backing vocals. But that album was recorded end of 2022, early 2023. So the Sällskapsspråk album is pretty old now, but it hasn't come out yet.
We are looking forward.
Thank you. It's a very nice album. I think so anyway. And the reason it hasn't been released is that Gyllene Tider came in between with the tour and the Hux Flux album. So I couldn't sort of compete with myself again. You know, so I just started releasing singles instead. So now a week ago, the Lena Philipsson single was released, and now in mid-August we're releasing the 3rd single, and then in October we're releasing the 4th single and the album. And
Speaking about your album, I know you are doing duets in Sällskapsspråk, but we can expect a duet with a male voice. I mean, Une Svenningsson, or are you only doing duets with women?
But there's a couple of guys as well. I can't reveal any names. I'm sorry, but they're both girls and guys. Lots. There are a few people. Helena is there, like I said, but she's the one that I've been working with a lot. And you know when I started making this album in end of 2022, it wasn't a duet album at all. It was recorded. I recorded like 6, 7, 8 songs, and then I started to realize that maybe I should do some duets. So I started making duets, and for every duet I made, it changed the angle. So many angles. So every duet I made changed the direction of the album. So then I said, oh, let's do another duet, and then it changed again, and then suddenly I had like 8 duets. So it's 13 songs on the album, and 8 of them are 8 or 9 are duets. Okay. So it's been great fun. It's been a lot of work because suddenly I realized that I wanted to work with a certain singer, and then that, especially if it was a girl, I had to change the key, and so I had to redo the whole production of the song to make it like I did with Bered Molly Hammar. She sings in a different key than I do. So we had to do first verse and first chorus in a lower key, and then have a modulation into my key. It takes a lot of time, but it's fun. Hey, I'm young.
Fantastic. The album will be in English or in Swedish?
Swedish only. Swedish only, yeah. But it's very lyric driven. in that sense. You know, like I do when I do solo albums in Swedish. It's very much about the Swedish lyrics, and this on this album, it's I really enjoyed writing these lyrics, and it has taken a lot of time to do. But you know, it's my first proper Swedish album since those Nashville albums I did back in 2016. You know, it's a long time ago since I did a Swedish solo album. I did, as you know, I did this Gammal kärlek rostar aldrig album during the pandemic, but that was old songs that I did new versions of.
And there will it be also, will you do a tour also for the album?
No, I would if this Roxette thing wouldn't have happened, I would have done a Sällskapsspråk tour. Yes, but now I'm not gonna tour with this album. I'm gonna focus on Roxette next year, and so we'll see. But you know,
Perfect.
I was wondering, being a fan for, like we all are, for 35 years almost, I was wondering, did you ever thought of the idea of making a documentary? But I mean, of course, a documentary that has Roxette as a main theme, but a complete one, like a full one, with you're such a prolific artist, and also telling your story, Marie's story, 80s, the 90s. I mean, Roxette was huge, and I mean, have you ever been approached with that idea or thought about that in the last few years?
No, not really. I mean, it's the only time I basically talk about it is when I do like I did with Niklas on this talk show thing, you know, on TV. But otherwise, I haven't. You know, it's in a way, I prefer to think forward instead of thinking backwards all the time. You know, it's always when I do interviews or when I talk to people like you guys, we talk about the past, we talk about the hits, so we talk about this and that, and coming back to Argentina, blah blah blah. It's all about you know, what happened in the past. So I don't know. It's I'm sure that there will be like a documentary one of these days. Maybe we can be not in charge, maybe, but be part of it, so it will be proper, you know. And maybe we can get Jonas Åkerlund or someone to do it. It would be fun.
That was my thought.
Yeah. That could be cool.
Per, thank you so much, because we know we have a short time. So thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for talking with us once again. We really love you.
Always a pleasure, and let's talk again after the summer.
Yes, it's a promise.
Per, hope we see you soon in Argentina, in our radio studio. Thank you for this interview.
Yeah, a pleasure.
We not promise to bring you to our radio studio, but we can go to the house to make a proper recording interview.
Good.
Okay, Per, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Per. Take care.
Thank you, Per.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye now. Hola, Argentina. See you hopefully very soon. Yes.